Also talking about this particular short-term portfolio, so I wanted to spotlight my Zerodha Kite portfolio. Kite portfolio बहुत ही recent है. I started my short-term portfolio building from July 2023. तो broadly एक साल पुराना portfolio है. एक साल में I have used Kite for n number of things. I have done stock trading, I've done index trading, I've done FNO, I started using coin also. So the yellow line that you see is Zerodha coin, small SIPs you're seeing. The green line is the actual cash curve, and the blue line is the total amount curve. So yeah, I think why I created short-term portfolio. So one of the biggest reasons I wanted to create two different portfolios was I never wanted to mix what I'm doing with small cases and grow. Mera small case with grow is generating 40% XIRR. Usko mujhe touch nahi karna hai. Whatever happens in the market, whatever I do, I should not touch that portfolio. So it is also very important that you realize that if you want to learn something and if you want to adapt to multiple styles of investment, you should have multiple accounts. And that is why I have these many accounts. And I use only one or two for the as primary accounts, and rest everything is just for diversification or exploration. But the reason I have multiple accounts is because I wanted to keep a short-term portfolio or a side portfolio, because I wanted to experiment. So this is my experimental portfolio from somewhere around July 2023 I started, and July 2024 this is the account curve. I've done a lot of FNO, I've done a lot of mistakes, I've done a lot of swing trading, a lot of momentum trading, with lot of help from Ashwin as a very, very close mentor in terms of how I should have been building my short-term portfolio. So I think every single penny which is there in this portfolio is something that we both co-manage. Although money is mine, I think he also takes in equal responsibility, that wherever I'm putting money, I just run through a check by him ki yaar ye sahi hai ki nahi hai. I give him certain stock recommendations, he suggests me some stocks, we both question each other, and that has been like in terms of our investing behavior, that this particular portfolio is a buddy portfolio in all sense. The capital is mine, but all the investment decisions have been buddy decisions. We both have taken equal decisions. Apart from that, one key point that I wanted to also mention was that ये portfolio जो है, जो side portfolio या short term portfolio, I think once you start doing this, and I started with very nominal amount, I started it with like 10-20,000, वहां से धीरे I've grown it to X number of amount. But the point here is that if you have a side portfolio where you are putting only that much amount of money which you're confident about कि यार ये पूरा का पूरा zero भी हो जाएगा ना, मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So the moment I wanted to take risk and start something like this, I was like 20,000 रुपए में का zero, sinking 20,000 rupees is okay to me. So I started from there. Now this has grown to be a very decent amount of portfolio. I think absolute returns अभी कुछ 8-10% के अराउंड है, but in terms of XIRR, because it's a short term portfolio, I can't show you XIRR के लिए एक साल से ऊपर की होल्डिंग होनी चाहिए, but I have generated good amount of returns from this. All the returns are getting reutilized here. This short term portfolio also gives me enough advantage that कि यार मेरे पास अगर कोई short term expenses आ जा रहा है, because I have not talked about emergency fund, I'll talk it about in the last slide, but अगर मेरे पास कोई unexpected expenses आ जा रहे हैं, so I don't touch my grow fund or I don't touch my mutual fund. So I have a different account where I go and extract some amount of money. So maybe not putting all eggs in one basket and not learning only one style of investing is something that I have been following as a key strategy. So that is there. So yeah, cost of learning, I have put aside a sum that I can afford to lose, so because I want to learn. And yes, if you start learning and doing, you will grow and compound your short-term portfolio, as you can see on my curve as well. Moving forward, this is just a snapshot of how my short-term portfolio has performed. So on the left side, you can see the performance of last year. So last financial year, you can see a lot of red dots, a lot of green dots. Green are the days when I've booked profits. Red are the days when I've booked losses. So last financial year, one of the biggest mistakes that I did in the short-term portfolio was I started doing over trading. कि एक position कट हुआ तुरंत ले लिया. I never had the patience of watching something and patiently waiting for the right setup, right moment to enter with technical analysis or backed by fundamental beliefs or fundamental analysis or whatever. But yeah, one of the biggest mistakes, because this was just 1 year kind of a portfolio, one of the biggest mistakes that I had was over trading. So yes, what I had was I had less number of losers, but the losses were big. But even with that, all in all, the above one is FNO portfolio, below is the equity portfolio or a cash portfolio. दोनों मिला के मोटा मोटा I was in profit, I was net positive, booked decent amount of money, इतना की tax file कर रहा हूँ. On the right hand side, this year has started. This year you see less frequency of trading. The above one is FNO. FNO thoda sa active raha hai. FNO has been mostly, the strategy has changed in the last year. FNO, all the red dots that you see were mostly because I was taking unhedged positions. I was buying call or selling puts, or buying puts या future लेता था, तो without hedging. This year, one of the strategy changes that I have broadly pushed by Ashwin is because that let's try to preserve the capital and grow the capital in not so hasty manner, not so fast manner, so that small losers, less number of losers can hit us big losses. So I think that strategy has changed. Even with this kind of spread of green and red days, I am sitting with a very decent amount of profit within April to July in my FNO account of Kite. Very, very decent amount of profits. In equity, again, very, very decent amount of profits, both in terms of absolute profit and the rate of profit. I'm way ahead of last year. So I think I'm going ahead in the right direction. I'm moving ahead in the right direction. Learning and not repeating the same mistakes is the key here. अगर short term portfolio आपको actively manage करना है, you need to understand what kind of mistakes you do, and you don't want to repeat those mistakes again and again. This year also, I'm targeting a certain amount of PNL every single month, every single quarter. So hence there is a backward strategy. Last year it was a fresh account, new account, open-minded account. So there was no strategic approach to how I should manage my short-term portfolio, but that has changed a lot this year. So this year I have well strategized, hedged and spreaded bets in my FNO as well as my swing account. So just wanted to, so grow में कुछ number है, kite में कुछ number है, M stock में कुछ number है. So I do a complete absolute manual tracking. I do manual tracking because I trust my own data capabilities. मुझे लगता है कि हाँ ठीक है, मैं अपना account statement download करके उसको tagging करके I can mark that this expense is groceries, this expense is what XYZ. I don't want to rely on any app. I don't want to also give out that data to any particular product. At least from an expenses point of view. Investment tracking, I am absolutely okay. So expenses tracking is something that I've started doing from 6th of April. उसके पहले बहुत ही sporadically करता था, कभी नहीं करता था. But April 2022 is when I've started putting down my expenses every single fortnight. So that all the days that you see is where I have a bank statement account downloaded, spent 15 minutes on my sheet and tagged every single entry, every single transaction from my bank account. I have only one bank account. I have only one credit card. I have only one debit card, and I'm very, very happy. I don't want to over diversify. If I feel the need, I might take up more accounts or more cards. But till now, over the last 8 years, I've never felt the need. But yeah, over the last 2.5 years, I've started mapping out my expenses on my own, and from that point in time, over the period of this 2.25 years, I have been tracking my net worth. My net worth has gone up. The total cash corpus that I had across all assets, all categories, whatever I had, has gone up 3.6x over the last 2.25 years. A lot of that has to do with how markets have performed, and how I have been able to grow personally, how I've been able to grow my income on a personal note. Because सिर्फ मार्केट के रिटर्न से आप अल्फा नहीं जनरेट करोगे. द अल्फा हैज टू आल्सो कम इन योर प्रिंसिपल अर्निंग. सो यस, जस्ट वांटेड टू सॉर्ट ऑफ पुट एम्फेसिस कि आपको अपना नेटवर्थ पता होना चाहिए. दोज हु आर ट्रैकिंग देयर नेटवर्थ, I think we are buddies. We both are on the same page. जो नहीं करते हैं, you are just playing in the dark. अगर आपको आपका नेटवर्थ नहीं पता, आपको नहीं पता है आपके कितने पैसे कहाँ पर पड़े हुए हैं, I think you are not suited for the market. You should stop doing any kind of activity. So yes, network tracking is very, very important. How you do it doesn't matter. I personally do it on sheets. I do it with a very, very grinding kind of way. I do that grind because I never regret it. I've never regretted it since 6th of April. From 6th of April, you can see X number of days. These many days, I've taken the effort of downloading my bank account statement and tagging every single transaction. I do it every single fortnight. 16 June को किया था, mid of June, end of June. Again, I will do it on 16th or 17th of July next. So I keep doing it. Over this particular period, 2.25 years, my net worth has gone up 3.6x. My mutual fund corpus has grown 4x. My stock portfolio has grown 8x. Across these buckets, my overall net worth mix is currently stocks and mutual fund roughly 94%. EPF and some kind of loan on credits that I have given to other people is very, very small. Gold I have not added because physical gold is something that I have not been able to track. I have not been able to associate a value to it. So that continues and continues to exist as an additional portfolio. वो मैं यहाँ पे track नहीं करता हूँ. But yeah, I have a decent amount of net worth in gold as well. So yeah, putting it out again, reiterating, tracking net worth is very, very important. You should know आपका net worth कितना है और किन buckets mein hai. That is why net worth asset mix trend is what I track personally, and I track which are the heavy buckets for me, how should I diversify, how should I rebalance, etc. All of that, where if you don't track, if you don't measure, you can't improve. As simple as that. Okay, coming back to the last slide, I think I just wanted to talk about what are the goals for me personally this year. मेरे क्या goals है, मैं क्या build करना चाहता हूँ, क्या करना चाहता हूँ अपने portfolio, अपने cash, अपनी income, अपनी earning के साथ. So I think one of the biggest things that I would like to do this year is that I want to build a very very sizable and decent amount of emergency fund, primarily because I have ambitions to quit formal workforce, and I want to start up something of my own. And for that, I need to back on my emergency fund for a decent amount of cushion that gives me decent amount of confidence कि यार इतना amount of time आप खुद के लिए ले सकते हो, so that you can try to build something of your own. So that is my very very primary goal. That is why it is on number one on the slide. So yes, I am building my emergency fund because I want to get ready for my next leap. And just couple of pointers on the bottom: save, lock, secure. Okay, it will primarily be parked in FDs, again, because now I've also realized that FDs are not that bad after working for a company that sells FD. So although I have been a very very aggressive and equity kind of an investor, a very equity heavy investor, but today I realize that yes, diversification is important, emergency fund is important. Even at Stable Money, we are building a very very great product around emergency fund. आज इंडिया के मार्केट में आपको कोई ऐप नहीं बोलता है कि इमरजेंसी फंड जाके बिल्ड करो और कैसे बिल्ड करो. I think at Stable Money, we are building one of those kind of products which will get launched very very soon. So I think whenever it gets launched, I will inform you all on the community. तो आप लोग भी check out कर सकते हो. Apart from that, there might be some milestone expenses that I might incur this year. I've taken one vehicle, I might take another vehicle this year, so there would be some milestone expenses. So I need to budget and plan for that. So it can be only done only via discipline. So अगर मेरे को पता है कि मेरे को X amount of money save करना है, and extract करना है through my portfolio or through my salary or wherever, I need to plan for it. I need to budget it in my finances and then execute it. So yeah, my second goal is to manage my milestone expenses of this year. Third one is I want to increase my exposure to debt and gold and reduce a bit of exposure on equity. So I want to diversify my portfolio into debt and hybrid mutual funds. Sovereign gold bonds is something that I've been doing. It is not shown anywhere because वो कहीं ना कहीं grow के अंदर absorb हो गया है. So sovereign gold bond is a very interesting product. I can take a different discussion thread on that or discussion session on that. So sovereign gold bond is something that I've been doing for the past 2 financial years. Every single quarter, RBI launches a new single gold bond ka tranche, and I invest very very regularly and in a disciplined manner. I want to increase the amount that I invest there. I want to also start accumulating some amount of more physical gold. I've accumulated decent amount of physical gold on due to the event of my marriage, but I want to also increase my gold exposure, because gold works as the best hedge in the world. Market ऊपर जाएगा नीचे जाएगा, आप लोगों को भी पता है, आप लोगों ने भी देखा है. Gold pops is something very interesting. So some of these brands like Tanishq, CaratLane, these guys have introduced plan of purchase. So you can plan how much money you want to invest for gold, and you can later convert it into a jewelry or a gold coin or whatever. So it's some kind of SIP kind of a product for gold. So I want to explore that as well. So gold pops is something that I would be exploring. And fourth and most interesting for me personally, that I'm very very curious, very very aggressive about, is to build a couple of streams of passive income this year. I don't want to end this financial year relying only on my salary. So yes, I'll be exploring and experimenting with some new paid gigs. I will be doing some startup consulting work. I would be going heavy on the community that we have built. I'll try to grow the community and start monetizing the community also to some extent. And I'll also try to gain some kind of income through my own personal branding. So that's my entire goal picture for this year. These are the 4 buckets of goals that I have, which revolve around personal finances. Apart from finances, बाकी goals भी हो सकते हैं personal level पे, family level पे. But yeah, related to money, these are the 4 goals that I have for this year, and how I plan to achieve them. So that's all. I think it has been mostly a monologue. Mostly I covered all the slides that I had. I hope people have not dropped, and those who are there, if you want to ask any questions, feel free. We can have another 5 minutes of chat.